What's good, everyone? Welcome back to FaShaun. This is episode 30, and today we are going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to talk about trends and why I feel that young men kind of fall into that trap of going along with trends that, in my opinion, don't really serve us, don't really serve you guys. And in today's episode, we're just going to talk about why we fall for trends, and is it really something that we can benefit from. So in this episode, we are going to be focusing in on the psychological aspect of what trends do to us, and how, frankly, we can skirt over them so that you can make informed buying decisions and not fall for what I call predatory marketing from the fashion industry, predatory marketing from the retail industry, and how they not only persuade you through your phone, through what you see out there in real life, but also your partner, who can sometimes, steer you wrong when it comes to your own style. So strap in, let's talk about it. What is a trend? A trend is essentially like a microblast of wanting to be a part of some form of movement. We're going to keep it to clothes here and fashion trends and clothing trends. And a lot of the time in these trends, they tend to be exclusionary. They tend to sort of skew your sort of external perception of who you are as a person to other people. When you participate in trends, essentially you skew yourself differently. And with that comes, I think, a serious psychological impact in that you, in my opinion, are being manipulated. Essentially, what this means is that externally, if you're seeking comforting validation by participating in a trend, what ends up happening is that you become a slave to this audience that you are speaking to, because they are now controlling your actions with what you do and what you say, and all of this is translated through clothes. I know it sounds like, it doesn't sound powerful enough that it would affect me or affect you, but it does, because you're actively participating in a trend, something that you probably didn't know about a year ago, and your actions are now being manipulated to do certain things, right? Everybody has encountered that at some point or another. And what that means is that companies leverage that and use it against you because it makes you vulnerable. The problem is, alongside all the other stuff that I said, is that it leaves you open to manipulation. It leaves you open to marketing, because now that trend is offered an in for these companies to then throw their marketing at you, and it works, right? It works for them very well because you've essentially outsourced your style to something that is away from something innate, to something that is now externally sourced, as in the fashion industry will say, well, look at our runways, look at this, look at what we're doing, look at what we're designing. We hold the keys to style. You should follow what we're doing and then go into these trends. And you can see how dangerous that is through the lens of that manipulation, because companies can now take that, either participate in trends to get a sale from you, or they will start trends themselves. That's a big one. They start trends themselves. People are very smart in these companies. They know what's maybe coming up. They get an inkling. They have other sources within the industry, and they will perpetuate a trend and then sort of produce a lot of whatever that trend is trying to sort of hone in on, and then sell it to the masses. And I think it's wrong. I think it's manipulation. I think that's what influencing really is. Influencing is just another way of manipulating you. They mean one and the same thing, frankly. And I think that a lot of young men, because we've had no instruction on how to really bring out your style in early years, we've lost what style can do for us in terms of the confidence, in terms of where that confidence can take us, and it's really it's sad to me, I think, because style for me brought out a lot of confidence in that, a first date, an interview, maybe that really important meeting at work, what have you, like dressing how I want to dress is what allowed me to live, I would say, a good life, a better life. And I think that's really important. And the last point of this sort of problem is that this has a marked difference on your confidence. It means that you've now outsourced your style, ergo you've outsourced your confidence to a company and their marketing, meaning that they now hold the keys to your kingdom and they can manipulate you in whatever they wish, because you want to participate in the trend that will then get you into the community of whatever this company is perpetuating. And this has a huge impact on your confidence going through life, and I think that it's been lost. It's something that I've noticed working within the industry for a little bit, where we're trying to convince and persuade people to buy certain products that we see are trending. And because trends aren't innately from a person and their style, it just feels like manipulation. Now, the solution. I don't necessarily have one that is all-encompassing that would serve everybody. The one that worked for me to break out of this sort of cycle where I was just spending money incessantly and then a year later never wearing it again, right? The only thing that got me out of it was just understanding style fundamentally, what things go with other things, what proportions work really well with me, what contrasts work really well with me, what stitching works really well with the stitching of something else, what textures work well with each other, etc., and on it goes. The only way was to understand sort of things foundationally, and then from there I could build the stuff, like I could build what I wanted to look like in my head in real life. And I think that's the only solution, because then trends don't matter. At that point, the trend is gone from your mind, because whatever they're selling, I'm not buying, because I already have a better image of what's good for me in my head that's built upon, again, that foundational knowledge of what goes well with something else. So by learning the fundamentals, and then after learning those things, putting your own spin on things, such that you are uniquely you, no one dresses like you, you know what works well with each other in terms of the garments, but at the same time, you've done it in such a way that it speaks more about your personality. Maybe you like more grunge, maybe you want to be a bit more clean cut, maybe you want to be a bit more artistic, maybe you want to be a bit more traditional, etc., etc. You can take those things after you learn the fundamentals, and then your style is just unique for you, and it'll look amazing on you, and that confidence that you get from it is truly inexplicable once you dress exactly in the way that feels like a second skin to you, maybe. That confidence is super important in life, and it can take you places. It can help you get that dream job. It can help you with that life partner. Like, these are really important things that I think a lot of young men have forgotten about with their style. They feel like it's not as necessary, but I would argue that it is really necessary. But that's it. Lastly, I'll just say for this video, trends don't serve you. They actually inhibit you. Try your hardest that when a trend services, you understand the backstory behind that trend and what happened with it, and you can see where the money is moving and where the business is moving, and try your best to not be manipulated or influenced by it. But that's it. That's episode 30. Hope you enjoyed. You know, maybe we'll do a discussion in the comments, something like that. I don't know. But I hope that this was informative for you, and I hope that it's a solution for a problem that you maybe thought about yourself, and would like to sort of break free from sort of that trend rut, cyclical fashion cycle, whatever it's called. That's about it. See you guys later. Into the next one. Peace.